Lots of new fragrance announcements. Which ones are you looking forward to? Do you have a favorite that's been announced? Or one that sounds like it could be a favorite of yours? Let me know what it is. Add a comment below. But we're going to talk about 21 new fragrances today that I'm curious to find out about. And I'm going to let you know one by one. And I look forward to checking them out. And again, as I said, if you have a favorite, let me know. Which one is this sounding really great to you? Put a comment so we can all find out. This list might be a little bit old, but I never got to do this video as I've been planning it for a few weeks, but better late than never. But also, we're getting really close to Scentfest SF. Please get your tickets if you haven't yet. We're like almost sold out, but I think they're kind of slowly trickling in. And we'll have around 3,000 attendees. And that's between 3-day pass holders and single-day pass holders. So it's a lot of people that are going to be at the show. So get your tickets right away if you haven't yet. So let's talk about first fragrance, Nishane's Thorns Become Roses, a new Julian Rascanet fragrance for Nishane. And if you haven't heard, Nishane is doing a special installation at our show, and Julian Rascanet will be there. So if you wanted to ever meet Julian Rascanet, Parfumeur, he'll be at Scentfest SF, and he's specifically coming with Nishane for this special installation. They will have the new fragrance, Thorns Become Roses, and Julian Rascanet has created this fragrance. So if you've ever wanted to meet him, please come, get yourself a 3-day pass and meet Julian Rascanet. He's also going to be on some scent sessions, panel talks, so you're going to want to attend that as well. So let's talk about this fragrance. It's called Thorns Become Roses, featuring notes of Turkish rose, lychee fruit, patchouli, mimosa, violet leaves, saffron, raspberry, cardamom, sandalwood, amber woods. So I know Julian Rascanet can do great fragrances with rose and patchouli. This one doesn't have any oud. It has amber woods. So let's see what he's done with Thorns Become Roses. It sounds like a great name. At least to me, it sounds great. And let's smell it. I haven't smelled it yet. I'll be getting my nose on it at Scentfest SF. I'm really curious to try it, and I look forward to talking to you guys about it. So yeah, get your tickets to meet Julian and smell the latest Thorns Become Roses, which I think launches sometime towards the end of next month. All right, next fragrance is called Lost Eden by Maison Margiela. I don't really have too much information on this one. I hope there's more info coming soon on it. All I see that it says forbidden apple and rare something on the label of the bottle. And then they show photos of apples, but behind the photos, there's a kind of a liqueur glass. So is this a boozy, appley fragrance, sort of reminiscent of something By Kilian would do? What do you guys think? I don't know, but that is my guess right now. But if you have more details on this Lost Eden fragrance from Maison Margiela, please let us know. It's also a dark color bottle. It's not a clear bottle, so most likely it's an eau de parfum. So I'm very curious to see what they've done with this one. And I love boozy, appley liqueur fragrances. Do you? Also, I don't know who is a perfumer. So if I don't know the perfumers, I won't mention. But I did mention Nishane's Thorns Become Roses is Julian Rascanet. But I'm trying to figure out who the Lost Eden perfumer is, and I don't know. But let's move on to the next fragrance. It's Maison Francis Kurkdjian's relaunch of Cologne Pour le Soir. It's so interesting. They discontinued all of these fragrances. Absolute Pour le Soir, Cologne Pour le Soir, Absolute Pour le Matin, Cologne Pour le Matin. So they launched Absolute Pour le Soir and Absolute Pour le Matin 2 or 3 years ago, exclusively at Selfridges. Now it's online exclusive. Now they're also relaunching Cologne Pour le Soir and Cologne Pour le Matin. But look at this. I have a nice tester bottle that a lovely person gifted this to me a couple years ago. And this is Cologne Pour le Soir. So this is a fresher, lighter take on the original Absolute Pour le Soir. But I've tested this out a couple times. I'm safe keeping it. And I kind of prefer the original more, honestly. But you have similar touches of the original, but it's not as dense. It's like a more of a cologne concentration, which means it's lighter. But when you put your nose to it and smell it, it reminds me of the original. I don't think also it's as animalic as the original, but I kind of love that animalic quality of the original Absolute Pour le Soir. This is the cologne light version of it. Anybody know this one? This, I think, launched in 2009 originally with the Absolute Pour le Soir. But now they are relaunching these fragrances. I wonder why they discontinued all of these great fragrances. And one by one, MFK is bringing them back, which is just weird. But the new version has a new label. It's not clear like that. It's similar to the Absolute Pour le Soir and Absolute Pour Le Matin labels. And the notes breakdown for Cologne Pour Le Soir: honey, cumin, rose, labdanum, vanilla, tonka beans, benzoin. Similar notes to the original, just less concentrated, a bit more watery. Of course, it's a cologne concentration, so it's easier to wear. Anyway, there's also Cologne Pour Le Matin. This is a cologne or lighter version of Absolute Pour Le Matin. So they're launching it together with the Cologne Pour Le Soir. So Cologne Pour Le Matin is powdery notes, violets, lemons, thyme, orange blossom, woods, rosemary. For me, between the two, I'm a big fan of the Absolute Pour Le Soir, and I like the Cologne Pour Le Soir. I'm not the biggest fan of the Absolute Pour Le Matin. I enjoy it. And then, of course, I probably will not want to get the Cologne Pour Le Matin. But I'm curious about the new version of Cologne Pour Le Soir. If anybody sampled it, let us know, add a comment below, and let's move on to the next fragrance. Okay, it looks like Jo Malone is going to capitalize on their very popular wood sage and sea salt fragrance with a new maybe it's a new fragrance. It's not necessarily a flanker, but it's Jo Malone's Sea Salt and Bergamot. This features notes of mineral notes, sea salt, bergamot, driftwood, moss, and immortelle. And this is in the clear bottle, so most likely it's going to be very light wearing. I really enjoy wood sage and sea salt. Thankfully, it's not marine at all. I like that salty, musky, aromatic combo of that fragrance. It wears very light, don't get me wrong. It's not beast mode at all. It's a very, very light wearing fragrance, but it's kind of minimalistic and clean. So let's see what they've done with this one. This one does seem like it's going into a bit more of a marine direction, so I'll be cautious about that one. But I'm curious to see what Jo Malone has done with sea salt and bergamot. But I like the sound of the combo. Bergamot and sea salt together, I think it sounds great. What do you guys think? Now, I've already spoken about these next three fragrances. I'm letting you guys know about them. They should be coming out very soon. Tobacco Vanille Parfum is launching very soon. Finally, if you haven't caught my video, please go catch it. It features notes of tobacco leaves, whiskey, oak wood, and I'm so excited for this one. We've been waiting for this one. Everybody's been waiting, asking for it. Although some people say it's already strong enough, just leave it alone. But hey, maybe they're going to make it a bit smoother, because for me, Tobacco Vanille is quite dry. Maybe they're going to amp up the ambery, syrupy qualities of the fragrance, and it's kind of coming on not so dry. Because I experience Tobacco Vanille as a very dry fragrance. And so I'm looking forward to the Tobacco Vanille Parfum. What I'm also looking forward to is the Tobacco Chocolat. And in my video, I spoke about this along with Tobacco Vanille Parfum. I said that there's a fragrance from the house of Caron called Tabac Exquis. And this kind of sounds like the idea of that fragrance. And if you like the sound of chocolate and tobacco together, you must get your nose on Tabac Exquis if you haven't already. But this one has notes of tobacco leaves, cocoa, orange essence, and Peru balsam, and it sounds super delicious. Really awesome. And I've always also mentioned Tabac Exquis is kind of like the idea of Tobacco Vanille, but if you remove the vanilla and add chocolate instead, that's what you get. So I think that's pretty much, what Tom Ford is doing with Tobacco Chocolat. I'm really curious about it. I love the idea of chocolate and tobacco together, and let's see what Tom Ford will do with this one. So the third and final Tom Ford fragrance, which is also mentioned in the video, go search my channel. You'll learn more details about these three fragrances because I'm looking forward to them. It's Ombre Leather Reserve. So remember, Black Orchid Reserve came out last year. This year they're launching Ombre Leather Reserve, another flanker to the long-standing Ombre Leather series of fragrances. So it makes sense that Black Orchid is probably the biggest seller for Tom Ford, then followed up by Ombre Leather, which probably is another big seller for the brand. And so they're also launching a reserve version of that fragrance. So this Ombre Leather Reserve features notes of black leather accord, white moss accord, violet leaves absolute, sandalwood, pignon wood, silver juniper. Now, if you guys recall, I'm not a big fan of the Parfum edition of Ombre Leather. I prefer the original. I felt like the Parfum edition went way too ozonic, so it kind of freshened it up to me, not super dense and intense. But on the other hand, with Black Orchid Parfum, I preferred it over the original Black Orchid and really love the Reserve. So I'm curious to see what they are doing with the Ombre Leather Reserve. Are they taking it into more of an ozonic direction where it kind of freshens up the fragrance? Who knows? I'm very excited for these three releases from Tom Ford, and I'll get my nose on them as soon as I can find out about them and report back to you guys. All right, we've got three fragrances from the house of Houbigant. So I think last year or the year before, Houbigant launched those bottles in red. Now we've got these blue bottle fragrances from Houbigant, and it seems like they're kind of, maybe not. I think I always confuse the fact that Houbigant is also a sister house to Paris Monte Carlo, because one of the fragrances in this blue bottle collection is a Neroli fragrance, and they already have a Neroli in the Paris Monte Carlo collection. So this is not that, but sometimes I forget that, and I think it's the same company, but it's actually, well, it's the same company, but it's two different brands. The first fragrance is called Blue Saline, and it features notes of cascalone, cashmeran, pittosporum, patchouli, cedar, amber, blackcurrant, and mint. I'm starting to see pittosporum quite a lot lately in fragrances, and if you guys don't remember, I have a new fragrance launching very soon with Angelo's Creations Olfactive. It's called Soma Panorama. We actually have pittosporum as a note in my fragrance as well. And we're doing a debut, a premiere at Scentfest SF. And if you like my taste, you're gonna really love this fragrance. I spoke about it in a video recently, in two different videos actually. It's called Soma Panorama, and it combines two neighborhoods. It's a fragrance inspired by our twin towns. San Francisco is a twin town of Thessaloniki in Greece, or sister cities is another term. And we took two of our neighborhoods, Soma from San Francisco, and Panorama from Thessaloniki, and we combined them, and the fragrance is inspired by the two cities. So it's called Soma Panorama. That fragrance is launching very soon, and also it features pittosporum. So it's a great floral note. I really enjoy, because we've got a few trees here and I always smell them as I'm walking. They don't only like they bloom 2 or 3 times a year, and I can't wait for them to bloom. And when it's a bit warm, it heats up, and at night the fragrance is just so intoxicating. So I wanted to use it, and it's nice to see it here in Houbigant's Blue Saline as well, the note of pittosporum. So we'll see what Blue Saline's all about. It almost sounds like it's marine note, but it's a marine fragrance, but we shall see. The next fragrance in the Houbigant Blue Bottle series is called Neroli Blue, and it features notes of neroli, orange blossom, bergamot, peppermint, amber, musk, ginger, and pepper. You know, there's a lot of neroli focused fragrances. I guess, am I getting bored of neroli? We even have neroli in Soma Panorama, but it's not about neroli. It's a note in there. It's a pretty complex fragrance. It's totally different than 54. So hopefully you guys will be able to sample it soon, because we're only doing a few bottles at the show. So while supplies last, until the fragrance launches exclusively at Lucky Scent towards the end of the year. But there's a third fragrance from Houbigant called Santal Mistral, and this features notes of sandalwood, vanilla, amber, patchouli, labdanum, vetiver, cedar, and immortelle. And this one seems like it's going into an ambery direction, earthy, woody. Hopefully it's a creamy variety of sandalwood, and it doesn't smell like Santal 33 from Le Labo. I'm only hoping. But let's see what they've done with these 3 fragrances, and if they're, you know, something that I'm going to talk about. So 3 fragrances from Houbigant in blue bottles: Blue Saline, Neroli Blue, and Santal Mistral. Let me know if you've already sampled any of the fragrances I'm speaking about today, and let me know. But just talking a little bit more about the new fragrance collab that I've done with Angelo's Creations Olfactives. So Angelo's Creations Olfactives are sold exclusively at Lucky Scent in the States, at least for now. And we started out the fragrance as, it was called Sister Cities. That's what we started it as, but we thought, you know what, let's change the name to Twin Towns, because it's a bit more, I don't know, I think it makes it a bit more sense for us. And also the inspiration are our 2 cities. And I had discovered that our 2 cities, San Francisco and Thessaloniki, are twin towns or sister cities. And so that's why the idea of a collaboration came about. And I decided to do this collaboration before Juicebox even approached me to do this, the 54 fragrance. So we were working on this. It took us a long time to do it, because we had some issues with the compound of the fragrance not matching what Angelo's had given me as the fragrance that we worked on together. So it took us a while, and it was not intentional to launch it at Scentfest SF, but somehow it turned out that it happened. And also the fact that it's a San Francisco inspired fragrance, also with Thessaloniki as an inspiration, and he's coming here as well. So we just decided to go ahead and do a premiere or preview, kind of a launch, a debut at the show. So again, it has a cannabis note, kind of green up top. There are other notes up here. There's a San Francisco fog, a note, and we have a very floral heart, and the floral notes include green floral notes, orange blossom, the pittosporum is in here. We also have lily of the valley and a few other notes. I'm drawing a blank with the whole notes breakdown. But then in the base, we have musky notes, woods, and Greek custard and caramelized cashews. So it does go gourmandesque, but again, cannabis and various other notes up top to floral heart and a creamy kind of gourmandesque woody musky base. It's so sexy, really, really wonderful. I absolutely love it. It's nothing like 54, but it's kind of creamy again. We have a kind of a creamy consistency. Same thing with 54. It turned out to be creamy because it had the coconut in the pina colada that was in there, and then the sandalwood in the base, and it turned into kind of a chocolate effect, a chocolate milk effect. And here it's kind of green, very floral, and of course, very creamy, kind of gourmandesque in the base. Again, it's not 100% gourmand because there's other things going on here, but just like 54, it's kind of like gourmand adjacent, I should say. So yeah, this fragrance is premiering at the show. We only have a minimal amount of bottles. So I'll announce it when it's ready to purchase very soon. And you'll be able to order it. Maybe, don't hold me on that or quote me on that yet. Or just be able to physically buy it at the show until it launches at the end of the year. So I'll come back to that a little bit later in another video. Let's move on to the other fragrances. We've got two fragrances from Zadig and Voltaire in their long-standing This Is Him collection. We've got This Is Him Red Hot, This Is Her Red Hot. And then we'll start with This Is Him, created by Nathalie Lorson. It features notes of red apples, red leather, vetiver. Does it sound great? I've kind of not kept up with the onslaught of flankers in this series. Are any recent ones really great? Do let me know, add a comment below. Are you looking forward to This Is Him Red Hot? Let me know, add a comment below. And then finally, the ladies version is called This Is Her Red Hot. And this is also created by Sidonie Lancesor. It's interesting, ever since the beginning, This Is Him and This Is Her, same perfumers are creating the men's and the women. So the men's versions have been created by Nathalie Lorson, and the women's versions have been created by Sidonie Lancesor. So I think throughout the whole entire series, and there's been a lot of flankers in this series. But This Is Her Red Hot features notes of blackberries, jasmine, and red leather. So curious to check them out. We'll see what happens with them. But let's move on to the next fragrances. We've got Adamo Parfum Beaumont sur Mer. This is a brand new fragrance from the house. Features notes of sandalwood, ylang ylang, musk, geranium, vanilla, truffle, orris root, pink pepper, juniper, and bergamot. Sounds kind of like a woody, sweet offering. So I'll have to get my nose on it to check it out. But the next fragrance, called Romazino, was in a mystery box recently. Did you get it? Did you get the mystery box? What are your thoughts on Romazino? Let me know. So we just had the mystery box a week and a half ago, and the mystery boxes were shipped on last Thursday. So you should be getting it if you haven't already. Some of you have already. The Romazino is a tea, milk, nutty offering with some light green touches. So it's creamy, smooth, nutty, milky, gourmand. But I wouldn't say this is super duper sweet, but I think it's a pretty solid offering from the house of Adamo Parfum. This, I think, I forgot the name of the perfumer. Unfortunately, I can't think of his name, but I quite like this one. So we had this in our latest mystery box. But if you got the mystery box, do add a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on that. And let's move on to the next fragrance. We're talking about Born to Stand Out next. This is Golden Milk, created by Gael Montero. I believe this is a Harrods exclusive, so I don't know how I'll be able to get my hands on this to let you guys know about it. But even though it's talking about milk, I think it's going into like an oudi kind of an animalic direction. So Gael Montero is the perfumer. It features notes of leather, akigala wood, oud, iris butter, vanilla, tonka, milk, cypriol, condensed milk, ambro fix, saffron, caramel, mahonial. But you know what? In this room right now, it smells so good with Romazino, because I just sprayed it, and also with the Twin Towns fragrance that I am doing. If I didn't mention the fact that Twin Towns is also a trilogy. So the first of three is Soma Panorama. So smelling Soma Panorama and Romazino in the room. But Golden Milk sounds good, although I don't like the idea of leather in the fragrance and oud. So let's see, like combining these milky notes with these kind of leathery, oudy kind of intense notes. But we'll see. I'm curious to check it out and see what it's all about. The marketing campaign for it seems quite interesting. Let me know if you guys have seen it and what your thoughts are. All right, next up, we've got a brand spanking new Escentric Molecules flanker to Molecule 1. And this time it's Molecule 1 plus Clary Sage. Basically, it's just Clary Sage and ISOE Super in the notes. Clary Sage, I thought I really enjoyed ever since I went to south of France to learn about the various aromatic notes there. I learned that I don't really appreciate the smell of Clary Sage. So let's see what they've done with it. But in its raw form, I don't care for it. And it's used quite a bit in men's designer fragrances. So how is this going to smell? We'll see. But I'm also missing one of the previous versions of this fragrance. So I need to get the previous version. There's also Cologne 1, and I want to do a long form deep dive video on Escentric Molecules. So stay tuned on for that sometime in the near future. But the next fragrance is from Electimuss London. It's called Amber Bloom, created by David Chiese. It's musk, tonka beans, ambergris, passion fruit, raspberry, salt, lily of the valley, grapefruit, mandarin, bergamot, and lemons. Haven't been able to smell this yet. As soon as I smell it, I'll let you guys know about it. I like some of the fragrances from Electimuss London. Some I'm not a big fan of, so I'll report back as soon as I can. So the next fragrance is from the house of Scentologia. This is Nitro Musk. This one features notes of musk, ambroxolide, ambroxan, orange blossom, jasmine sambac, peony, vetiver, bergamot, lily of the valley, and heliotrope. I kind of like this brand, but they're not so represented in the States. The only time I see them is when I go to Europe. We recently featured Lactonic in a mystery box last December. So I'm curious. I'm a musk lover and I want to check this fragrance out and see what it's all about. As soon as I do, I can report back to you guys and let you know. But if you've got your nose on it, let us know as well. Do add a comment below. Let's move on to the next fragrance from the house of Bon Parfumeur. This is Riviera Absolu 005, created by Paul Guerlain over at IFF. This features notes of finger lime, neroli, black tea, olibanum, cypriol, ambroxan, cardamom, bergamot, tomato leaves. So finger lime, it's making an appearance in fragrance again. I think when Goldfield and Banks launched, what is it called? Bohemian Lime. I think they were the first to talk about finger limes in fragrances. Now we've got this. I haven't seen any other appearances, although I haven't spoken about it. I might have seen something. But has finger lime been used in any other fragrances post Bohemian Lime? Let us know. This sounds great. It sounds like a citrusy fragrance, and the tomato leaves kind of is like a curveball in there, but I'm curious to see what Paul Guerlain has done. I kind of like his creations for various houses. I like Neroli Nasimba from the Maison Crivelli, and then also his co-creation of Dries Van Noten Chamomile Satin. So I'm quite curious to see what Riviera Absolu will be like, because I do enjoy Bon Parfumeur's fragrances. All right, we've got 3 more fragrances left. I know this video is a bit longer than normal. We've got Kajal's Dahab Absolu. So this has been a long-standing fragrance. This fragrance came out before Lamar, which is one of my favorites from the house. And I enjoyed Dahab, whereas Lamar was more syrupy. Dahab is fruity, but still dry. So let's see what they've done with Dahab Absolu. Created by Patrick Muller, this is featuring notes of mangoes, green apples, tropical fruits, lily of the valley, jasmine, rose, honey, passion fruit, oak moss, cashmere wood, gaiac wood, vanilla, caramel, and musk. I enjoy the original, but I kind of prefer Lamar more. I don't care for the new Lamar in the black bottle. I like the original Lamar. The pineapple in there is a really nice pineapple that's kind of going into a warm ambery direction. To me, it felt like Dolce & Gabbana's pineapple, but much more elevated, much more intense, and much more complex compared to that pineapple, which I really loved, by the way, and it's discontinued. Dahab, I liked. Let's see what the Absolu is all about. So if you've sampled it, let us know, because I think it might have debuted during Essence earlier this month. And then last but not least, we've got 2 fragrances from Lorenzo Pazzaglia, and the notes breakdowns are huge for these fragrances, man. So huge. So the first one is Tropicalis Karma, featuring, I should say this is like a fruit bomb. Like, who's a fan of fruits? I mean, I like fruits in fragrances. I kind of like to eat my fruits more than wear them, but I like them. I'm not the biggest fan of the fruity fragrances, but this seems like a fruit bomb, like a fruit salad exploded in your face and you started smelling it. So mangosteen, star fruit, pineapple, papaya, melons, bananas, peach, mango, milk, apple, grapefruit, coconut, lychee fruit, mulberry, vanilla, plantain, musk, myrrh, patchouli, and amber. By the way, if I haven't mentioned yet, Lorenzo Pazzaglia will be at Scentfest SF, guys, so come and meet Lorenzo Pazzaglia and smell their fragrances. Most likely this fragrance is going to debut at our show if it hasn't already debuted yet. I'm looking forward to it. I think my favorite from the house is still Carbonara. I love that amber fragrance. And last but not least, we've got Gin Fusion. This is also a really extensive notes breakdown. Gin Fusion sounds really great. Sounds fresh, clean, and very citrusy and aromatic. This features notes of citron, lime, lemongrass, ginger, lemons, yuzu, sweet orange, bergamot, peppermint, mandarin, neroli, cassis, pomelo, gin, juniper, lily of the valley, green tea, spearmint, tarragon, vervain, mate, tea, lemon balm, juniper, vetiver, amber, sandalwood, cedar, cardamom, oak moss. There's so much in the notes breakdown. Who's a fan of Lorenzo Pazzaglia's fragrances? Do let us know. Add a comment below. I'm looking forward to trying this one. Although I think I would enjoy Gin Fusion more than the previous fragrance, but sometimes I go in thinking this one sounds better, and then turns out the other one is better than this, so I can't really tell. But between the two, Gin Fusion sounds the best. If you've tried any of the fragrances I spoke about today, let us know. Add a comment below. Yeah, I already mentioned a few of the brands that are going to be at the show. I told you guys about Romazino was in mystery box. Let us know what your thoughts are, and I'll let you guys know more about this new fragrance collab that I've done with Angelo's Creations Olfactives called Soma Panorama, and I think we might be able to offer it online, so stay tuned. There's only a very few bottles. You get an early preview. If you're interested, let us know. You might want to send an email to the Scent Club email address. Just mention in that email that you're interested in getting a bottle. So they won't be shipped until after the show, but we might be able to offer some to our, Scent Club people, customers as well. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Like the video, please share it. Please interact with the video. Leave some comments, like the video, all that good stuff. And then I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.